And playback.
I can only imagine Rob directing this film.
Okay, here we go, ladies. Lots of Italian passion in this one, right?
Well, Rob has a unique background in that he's come from the world of the theater. First as a performer, a dancer, and then as a choreographer.
And I don't think you have to actually also bring it back.
No,
I just told you here, just throw it. Right.
And then he made the leap into directing, and then became a film director.
Here we go.
Continue cinema Italiano. I love it, cinema Italiano.
Rob utilizes what film really can do.
That's fantastic.
He's a real visionary.
Good to go. Laser.
There's something that he does that combines choreography with costume, light, character, and you see the things he does with the film stock and the color. He's so great at piecing those things all together. It's really phenomenal.
Open wide.
Rob comes from the world of musicals. He grew up in that world. He understands how music moves a narrative along.
Who's not wearing any clothes? I'm not, my darling.
He understands how to seamlessly integrate the elements of music and dance and storytelling, character and design. And that's part of what makes him so effective as a director of musicals. He has that sense of when to really heighten something and when to pull it back in.
You know, he dances, him and his partner John. I mean, they choreograph the entire thing, and it's just amazing because he really understands the way a woman's body moves.
It's been such a beautiful adventure, I think, for all of us. A lot of it is because of who Rob Marshall is. He manages to be honest with everybody, but he's never mean, and he makes all of us feel special every single moment of the day.
So maybe what I'll do is, can I just say up? Should I just say up? I'll just say up. Okay, good. Okay, here we go.
There's a kind of harmony inside of him, and when he shoots a scene, until it's really what he wants, he just tortures you without you knowing about it.
Right now I could put this number together and blow the roof off the house. So we're gonna get even more material, more stuff. I'm really happy.
He directs by stealth, Rob. He directs through immense kindness.
Now they're gonna reach for you. See what you're gonna feel. Here we go. Good.
Not that he is praising you all the time, but somehow he has a way of making you feel that you've done it to a certain level.
Perfect.
He gives you not only the confidence, but also the energy to do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until he gets what he wants.
He's on this microphone, right?
Beautiful, everybody. Absolutely stunning.
And he might have a complaint about the lighting,
That one right there, that wire's 2 wires there.
but he'll say the direction in this beautiful, it sounds like a meditation CD, the way he talks. He's like, Fergie, that was great. That was wonderful, honey.
Fergie, stand up for 1 second, would you, sweetheart?
Let's do it again. Could you please move more to the right?
I need light on her, Mike. Good. Thank you, Fergie.
Thanks. And it would just be this calming aura. You never felt bad about yourself. You never felt frustrated. It was all a very positive environment, and I think that we all felt it.
It was a very happy time. It was a very relaxed atmosphere because of the world that Rob created, you know, a world of mutual respect. He put his heart and soul into it, and that's so much part of the choreography in the course of this, that sense of like just giving yourself over. And that is largely thanks to him and the group of people that he chose to surround himself with.
That's the great part of Rob, is that he'll work them hard, but he's very collaborative. He listens to everyone, and he wants to be pushed as well, you know? It's like, come ask me questions. It's nice, the kind of respect that he has for everyone, and that they give him back.
When I choose actors, I find it's important, A, that I like them very much, you know, as people, because we'll be working together, but I also I love their talent, and I want to glorify what they do and make them great. That's my goal. There's a couple times she went back like this, went boom, bah, with those ropes. Oh my God, thrilling. I liked to give them that sense of protection, of safety, where they can try anything like a kid in a playground, and that's because that's what we're doing after all. But we're gonna come back, we're gonna do more, believe me.
At the end, the most important thing is what that person, that the director creates, and it's just contagious. What Rob Marshall has is, he's just a magic being.
He's so passionate, and the fact that he's done so many musicals, you really trust him. He's a maestro.
Everybody looks fantastic. I'm so happy. We're so happy up here. Whoa, okay. Applause for these gorgeous people. Great crew. Here we go.
I love you, Guido.
And cut. Good, everybody. Very nice.
I never dared dream that I could have Daniel Day-Lewis play Guido Contini.
Have I lost myself and all I wished for? Has my life become a mindless game? Guido, I can't stand the name of Guido. Guido, for God's sake, who is this Guido? Guido here with no one as but Guido!
He's so involved. He's so close to life, boiling life of the character.
You have to understand, this is nothing. This is what I do, I direct. That's my job.
And this is our life. When you work with him, the set becomes the real life. The scene becomes the real life. The word you say becomes your words. If you could see yourself. I mean, you really forget about everything else. He creates a real world.
He's scary. He's intimidating. He's hypnotic. He is beautiful. He's magnetic. He is unforgettable.
You have such style. And everybody has their own ways of working. Daniel is very invested.
Style.
All the time. You care as much about the suit as the man wearing it. It's fascinating to watch.
I hate that man.
Well, Daniel ceases really to be Daniel when he comes onto the set. It's as if the part gets somehow injected into him, and the whole of his inside becomes that character. I mean, there's only the skin of Daniel left, so you don't call it Daniel anymore, you call him Guido.
Here we go.
He's just so true. He goes so deep into his characters. He takes such care. I mean, there's not a stone unturned. No one knows this guy better than he does.
He's so amazing. I mean, he was walking around set, speaking in an Italian accent. He wrote me little notes on his Guido stationery, and they were all signed Guido.
It's so beautiful to be in the orbit of somebody like Daniel, and to be one of his many women in the film.
This incredible thing happened. I got a call saying Danny would like to speak to you. It became clear to me that this might happen. I mean, I wasn't sure if it would, but I was hoping. And then he called me, left a message on my machine. Book those stages in England and God help me. And he hung up. I was out of my mind.
I can hardly stay up. And I can't get to sleep. And I don't want to wake tomorrow morning at the bottom of some heap.
When Rob first started talking to me about it, I was at that time looking for any excuse I could find not to go back to work, and I just couldn't think of one when Rob started to... And when he told me about the cast and his plans for the film, I did understand that no matter what the result of this piece of work would be, that the period of time making it would be unforgettable, and it was. It was a very happy time.
To get down on his knees and say, Guido, whatever you do.
His willingness to try things and go into these uncharted territories for himself was very, very special.
Daniel's so athletic. I mean, he's a real athlete, and he does it for real. You know what I mean? This is not, those pull-ups are him. There's no faking that. I mean, even when we did the walk across, the plank that he does across the set, so high up, nothing underneath. Everybody was having a heart attack, including me, going, let's just put something under there, a net or something. No, it has to be real, and even that jump that he does.
I want to be Bruce!
You know, you hold your breath, but he just goes for it.
You should see that through the camera.
Like a dancer, like an athlete.
Find another genius. I can't be one or become one.
The singing was something we were all terribly anxious about, and yet the opportunity to contribute something to a story, to a scene, through music, rather than the spoken word, is a special thing. That music does something that you couldn't do in a different way.
Guido with no intervening actors.
And so we were glad to work at it, yeah.
Guido here with no one else but...
Daniel's very committed. He takes on the persona of the character, but there's still glimpses of Daniel coming through, and he has the most wonderfully mischievous spirit, and a joyful spirit, actually. As much as he's very thoughtful and intellectual, he's got a lot of joy in him.
That's all that I want.
Good, everybody. Very nice.
We started casting before we started writing because I really wanted to create and craft the roles specifically for actors. The turnout specifically of women for this movie was unbelievable.
And playback.
I mean, we saw every great actress in Hollywood.
Everyone came in, and they all worked so hard. People that never, ever audition. They're bona fide stars.
Since I was a child, my biggest dream was to do a musical, an American musical.
I was so thrilled when I found out that I was going to be in this cast. I let out the biggest scream I think I've ever let out of this mouth, and that's a loud scream.
You know, I'd never had the confidence to sing. I'd always loved it, and I would have a couple glasses of wine and then maybe have some confidence, but I never really had true confidence in singing until Rob.
Anytime I was saying that I'm working with Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench, my God, when you are all in a room alone, are you going to kill each other? And I said, no. It's like a family. It's wonderful.
Each of the actors who are playing characters in this movie are playing them because each of them came in and claimed the role.
Rob just gave me a chair and said to go. And I'm thinking, okay, I thought he was gonna teach me some moves. So I just went for it.
She came in and just took over the place and said, this is my role. And you had to listen. I mean, of course, she sang it unbelievably. But what was so great, she attacked it as an actor.
I really went for it because I wanted this role. I'm getting my feet wet in the biggest ensemble cast. It's like a dream cast. And for me to get to be up there with these players and really just do the work and just finally when I get there, just let it all go and kind of be in the moment, that was a great experience for me.
There are 7 female leads in this movie, and so that times the amount of people that came in, one after the next after the next. I'm telling you, it was overwhelming. I mean, Marion Cotillard, for instance, she auditioned for Judi Dench's part originally because we didn't know what that was going to be.
When I was about to meet Rob Marshall, I was very nervous because I was able to touch my dream, and I really wanted to be part of it.
To make them, he lives a kind of dream in which his actions aren't always what they seem.
I mean, she's a seamless one line to her voice. Because it's a tricky song, but she doesn't make it seem tricky. I mean, it seems sort of effortless, but she's just a natural singer.
My husband makes movies.
Beautiful.
Penelope Cruz auditioned for Claudia, the film star. She auditioned for Luisa, his wife, and then ultimately Carla.
It was very scary, especially to sing, because I have not sung before professionally. But if you're gonna do a musical, there is nobody better to do it with than Rob Marshall.
I mean, I saw the stuff that Penelope did where she's coming down on the rope and wow. That's frothy, frothy hot.
Have to be enough for now.
I remember at the end of the number, after the 3 days of shooting, I could not stop crying because I realized I would not be able to do the number again. And I had been doing it for months and months. My ropes and the slide, and it was part of my day, every day for hours. And it's amazing how to have to say goodbye to something like that become such a big thing.
I love you, Guido.
Wow. Burn that one up. Burn it up.
I remember when Kate Hudson came in, and I'd known Kate for years, and she opened her mouth to sing, and I thought, where has this voice been hidden? And then I started to dance her, and she's a real dancer, you know? I mean, I'm a dancer, so I knew in a second that she was a real dancer, and I thought, I can't believe you have this in you, and we don't know. And so then we worked to create a role specifically for her, the role of Stephanie, for her.
I mean, to sing and to finally like belt something out was just so liberating. It's like...
That was it, baby. I was so proud.
We had an embarrassment of riches in terms of choices to make.
Hey, silence, please. We are rolling.
With all the talent that auditioned, it became very clear. Nicole Kidman was Claudia.
Yeah, it was such an honor. I mean, Rob said to me, you know, I'd love you to play Claudia, and we were having lunch. He took me to lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel, very movie star, and he said, I'd love you to play the movie star in the film, and so I was like, okay, I would love to do it.
I mean, I remember Anthony saying, I mean, he loved Nicole. He really, really loved Nicole. And of course, you know, he considered her his muse, you know, in certain films. And he just said, this is, you know, you will love her. And with these other, you know, real high hitters around her, we needed somebody that could really command the weight of a big international movie star. And she fit it to a T.
It wasn't just because she's this great film star, it's because she, I think, connected to Claudia, because Claudia doesn't want to be seen as this goddess, this thing. She wants Guido to see her as a person.
In a very unusual way, I think I'm in love with you. In a very unusual way, I want to cry.
Everybody was more gorgeous and beautiful and brilliant than the next. As you know, I was just, my job was to serve them. That's what I felt the whole time. Serve them, make them great.
Always remember, my son, you will always be mine.
I found it very affecting to be working with Sophia. It's just, her work is absolutely sublime. And there she was, and my mum was so thrilled when I told her about the cast, but when I told her that Sophia was playing my mother in it, she was utterly delighted by that.
The first phone call I made to actually make an offer was to Sophia Loren. I called her, and my heart was beating a mile a minute.
I said, who is on the phone? Robert Marshall. Robert Marshall? The one who did Chicago? That I loved very much.
I said, I can't imagine making this film without you.
He said, Sophia, if you are not going to be in this picture, I'm not going to do it.
And she said, yes, I will. You know, it was like, ciao, ciao, and hung up. She was so sweet. And I thought, oh, now I have an Italian film. I have the great Italian actress to be the spirit of the film.
You know, Sophia's this fashion icon, and she comes to set dressed to the nines, and in her scarf and her beautiful makeup.
Just as we were about to begin, Sophia arrived for the first time on the set, so we all welcomed her and gazed at her, and was pretty speechless, I was. And then Rob said, we really must go and rehearse, we must go and do this. But as we got there, she and Daniel had come and sat down, so I knew that I had to do the whole number in front of them. And I thought, it can't be more frightening ever than this moment.
And when Judi Dench was cast, who was also beyond my wildest imagination that she would be in this film, the greatest actress I think there is.
I worked hard for several weeks, singing with Paul Begave, and then recorded it, and then sang it on the day that I did the number. Now I don't have to do that again. Now, of course, 2 days later in my bathroom, you know, I sang it. I thought, why didn't I do that?
What do we want? Dreams! Let us not forget, Guido, mon cher, that is our privilege to entertain!
It's just been so fun watching every one of them just attack the rehearsal process. Everybody comes to everyone's rehearsals, and people are here today watching Penelope. Daniel's just in, and some of the dancers are here watching, and it's just a great family.
To come together and rehearse together and participate together and to go out partying together and all of those things that you rarely get to do on a film, this film's been able to offer us, and that's been such a joy.
We are trying to root with each other and really try to help each other. And this is the first film that I make that at the end of the film, we are still in touch. We still exchange our numbers, and we are really friends. I tell you.
When you're doing something as complicated as 9 was, especially because I had 8 principal actors, I needed that support behind me, that great team, and it made it easier on this one because it's a well-oiled machine now. You know, Dion Beebe, the director of photography, Colleen Atwood, costume designer, John Meyer, the production designer. We know the language, and you know, on this one we needed it because it was a big one.
Go ahead, Tim. Okay, let's go. Roll sound, please. And background action. Playback. Dimmi quando
tu verrai. Dimmi quando.
I didn't feel that hinge. Was he hinging?
When you work with Rob on a musical like this, it is such a collaborative effort between all departments. There's no island. Everything I do affects lighting. Everything lighting does affects costumes. It just goes all the way around, and you all work together to come up with the ultimate product.
For instance, John Meyer will say, well, do you want those tables nailed down because I know you're going to be jumping on them? Or Colleen will say, I know those girls need, you know, great support in their shoes and rubber because I know you're going to have them turning. And Dion knows theatrical lighting, which was so new to him when we began.
Good, that was very nice.
Really, we work hard trying to define ways to make these sort of seamless musical transitions. And then from there, it's finding our ways to sort of bring that to life with the cameras and the set. You know, we'll run through possibly 10 to 50, maybe 100 lighting cues and the use of cranes and dollies and tracks through the course of a number.
Okay, here we go. My hair's safe. Hold the work, please. Turn to the cameras.
Dark and handsome guys with the skinny little ties, dressed in mud, looking out of sight. I love to watch them as they cruise with their pointy leather shoes, wearing shades in the middle of the night. Whatever Guido does, it makes me smile. He is the essence of Italian style. I love the glamorous Latin world that only Guido can portray. Continue cinema Italiano. I love his cinema Italiano.
Very nice, everybody. good.
The real home for the musical numbers is in this half-built soundstage.
Now, this is basically a model for what's going to be on the other set, which is a more finished version. But we need this one because we need immense rehearsing. So come look at it.
It had to transform 10 times. And the creative aspect of changing it wasn't a challenge, it was just a dream. It was fantastic.
As you can see, it's an actual set. There are things above you, things on the side. It's not just for looks. I mean, they put a lot of hard work into this, and we've got all the boys here working hard.
The challenge came when we looked at the schedule that said that sometimes we'd have to change it overnight. And it's a huge set. So everything that needed to come out and go in had to be created as the set was being built. It had to be completely thought out before we could go, which was really, really fun because we get it completely figured out for dance number 1, and we find out it pretty much worked for dance number 2, and then we'd get it to dance number 3, and Rob would call me down and say, you know what, doesn't work for number 3.
Not attached to that end, and he sort of jumps onto it.
Yeah.
Because that's part of what looks fakey to me is that it's attached, or it wouldn't be.
I agree.
So when we changed it for number 3, we'd have to sit with Rob and work out how does that affect 1 and 2. So imagine going all the way through that to we're at the last number 10 and suddenly it has to change, and then you have to go back all the way through, if that makes any sense. But it was fantastic. I was like, bring it on. It's like if I got a call down and everyone said, oh, there's a change, I go, great, what are we gonna do? Let's figure it out.
As we're shooting the movie, it's a kinetic process making costumes for films. They're not all done the first day of filming by any means. So Rob and I continually talk about costumes. He's seen the sketches before for the principal, so those are pretty much in place. But the dance costumes are constantly evolving. The design of the dance costumes, as well as the costumes that the leading ladies all wore for their numbers, it was thought out ahead of time. So by the time it got to them putting them on, we sort of had the glitches worked out of it. Before I design the costume, I see the choreography with Rob and John, so I know what the costume has to do before I make it.
Now the transformation has begun.
They showed me the Folies Bergère number, and I immediately thought of Swarovski crystals for the headdresses, and I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I'd used them a little bit on Chicago, and they were really helpful. And then when it came to 9, I just wanted to do the number bigger and with more scale.
It's okay partly down, but I think it should control, like maybe put something that controls it toward the back.
The headdresses were conceived as an idea trying to keep the weight off the head, because a lot of headdresses, even the feather ones, weigh a lot. And I was also sick of feathers everywhere. So I thought it would be really great to do something that was more like a piece of jewelry, like a gigantic, jewel on the head.
You have Colleen Atwood doing the costumes, so you don't have to really worry about your costumes because she's a miracle worker.
Thank you, Maestro. Thank you very much. Guido, continue. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Well, Daniel and I spent a day together early on, before really anyone else started. We went shopping together, and we sort of got a feeling for Guido, like his shoes and his suit. He's sort of iconic in a sense, so his costume has a soft feeling, but it's still, it's comfortable. He's wandering around in a state, so it's sort of, the clothes aren't what the character's thinking about. The clothes are just there. So we ended up with a black silk suit on him that moved nicely and had a sense of grace to it. Very spare. The fabric that we used for Cinema Italiano was developed by Swarovski, and it's a mesh made out of crystals individually on backs and then joined together. So it worked out great for that sort of 60s pop sort of square, round sort of motif that we went with.
It was impeccable. It was 15 pounds. I mean, it was so heavy, this thing, to put on. And you realize, this is old school. This is the way costuming and what it was to be a costume designer back in the 60s. And that's Colleen. And you don't get that very often. You don't have the opportunity to have that on a film. And that was really fun for somebody who loves clothes like I do. She truly is phenomenal.
We know how rare doing a musical is. It doesn't happen often. It takes a lot of attention and care and time, and we know how lucky we were to be doing it.
Go, Giuseppe. And cut. Good. Very nice, everybody.
We had Italian dancers and British dancers. Unbelievable, gorgeous, and I'm very particular about dancers because I was a dancer. So this is the movie of the musical Nine. It's about a filmmaker in 1964, Italian filmmaker named Guido Contini. That you are playing the women in his life, and he has a series of fantasies throughout the film. And you become all these different things: women in his life, women in the Folies Bergère, the whores on the beach that he knows and met as a child. There's always a whore, isn't there?
You build yourself up for auditions like this. So when they come along, it's obviously everyone wants this job because it's an amazing job, and this is why we do what we do, to have opportunities like this.
So I think we'll keep her. We'll keep her, the pretty blue eyes, and this girl's gorgeous. I love her. Very nice, very nice.
These are ladies who have seen it all. They've been through it all, and they don't rush. 5, 6, 7.
Really surprised in a good way. Really surprised with the people, with the way people are treating dancers. I really appreciate it, you know.
I think a lot of effort and passion is behind everyone who's auditioning today, so it means a lot to everybody.
I was saying to one of the girls it was an honour just to be in the room because the standard of girls was really high, and to watch him as well when he'd come in and say little things and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's really, the way he does it is a lot better than the way he says.
When you do this, it's just fun when it's internal, it's not so that, you know.
Teaching dancers, you have to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Because you have to show them. It's not quite so with acting. You don't want to necessarily do every line. But in dancing, you do. That's the way you teach them. You go 5, 6, 7, 8, and you show them what they need to do.
I've been dancing 7 years, and you just go through the different choreographers, different way they work. You can tell that what a lovely guy he is from the way he conducts the audition. You never get a guy say thank you for coming to an audition, and that was the first thing he said to us, so it was brilliant. Really, really lovely.
You know, can I just do something? Everybody face front just for 1 second, right? And just do this for me.
Really excited, and obviously we know Chicago, the musical, which she did an amazing job with, and it's it's a real honour to be here to do his choreography. It's wonderful.
Of course, it's every dancer's dream. You know, everyone wants to be on film, but to be in a film and having someone caliber of Rob Marshall directing you and dancing and the choreography is just amazing, amazing. I mean, we all watched Chicago and just went, so it's incredible.
You know what, guys? What will help you do a bigger back after this is instead of throwing your arms that way, that you throw them that way.
down, and then into the thing, you know? Good.
There you go.
You're the best. I mean, you should just know
Work so hard, guys.
you just know you're the best. And so we can't wait to work with you. It's just going to be thrilling. It's lovely to meet every one of you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
When we were looking at the set design for The Italian, Saraghina lives in a World War I bunker on the beach, and that's her home. And so we knew that sand and the water obviously were the elements.
So once we took out the previous set and installed all the tables and chairs for The Italian, we then went in and we dropped in 14 tons of sand to turn our soundstage set into a World War I beach.
You know, when you're working on a musical number, you come at it from so many different places. The first thing is sort of how does it fit into the fabric of the piece? This is part of Guido's memory as a child, running off with his friends to this beach to find this woman so they can pay her some money so she'll play with them and teach them a few things maybe on the way. But it's innocent in a way, I have to say. You know, she's just shaking her hips for them and showing them a little cleavage or a little shoulder. But it excites them as young boys, of course.
So you little Italian devils, you want to know about the love? Saraghina will tell you.
We spent 2 months rehearsing this in a mock-up set with the exact dimensions so that the actors had their jungle gym, their playground to rehearse in and experiment in and find out what works and what doesn't work.
It was heaven to me because I never get this much rehearsal time in my other career. We had so much time to sink our teeth into it, to go through the details. The whole routine, we made sure that there were no pointed toes. There was nothing graceful about her. She's very robust and earthy. She's almost like an animal. She's kind of like a panther, and very earthy. It was all about making the movements tough and robust. There's nothing, little girl about her. We were very careful not to put any dance movements that were contemporary. It had to be what Saraghina would do. Saraghina would do. Excuse me, I gotta get the accent in there. Not what I would do. And we had a great time doing that. It was a great challenge for me.
These are my bruises from the Italian first week.
Oh my God.
She absorbed it and threw herself into it. I was so impressed. Fearless is the word that comes to mind when I think about Fergie.
Please be gentle, sentimental. Go ahead and try to give my cheek a pat.
And so obvious to me that we needed that kind of power in this film too. It comes at a place where you need that kind of Sacco number.
Pick the flower now before the chance is past.
And that's what's great on film. You can do things that you can't do on stage. You can break those boundaries and go past what you ever imagined it could be on stage.
Live today as if it may become your last.
I think I came out singing and dancing. I remember my mom says that, you know, she said I was always like, if there was a stage, I would find it.
I love the black and white, I love the play of light, the way Contini puts his image through a prism.
I don't know if the world is ready for this one.
It's a tongue twister, the song.
I love to watch him as they cruise with their pointy leather shoes wearing shades.
He wrote a fast, very belty, actually quite difficult song to sing. I remember when I first heard it, and I was like, how am I gonna sing this song? You know what I mean? It was just so fast, and I'm not used to singing like that.
Italiano, he makes me feel with cinema Italiano. My life is real with cinema Italiano. He is the king of cinema Italiano.
Here, Fergie, you're gonna sing mine.
Oh, no. It's time for you to
Fergie
show the
can do it.
world what you got,
Fergie
young
can
lady.
sing for me.
Love to see from Guido's POV.
We would work with Paul, who was the musical director, and coaching us and pushing us and sort of giving us an amazing confidence to be able to perform the song and sing the song. You know, we actually punched the song up, and he really made me aware that I could hit what I think is a high E. I think that's what he used to say. He goes, you can hit the high E, you can belt a high E. And at first I had a hard time with it, and then I just realized I needed to just do it. I've always written music, so the music I write is sad, and you know, there's no there's no beat to it. The little girl in me, you know, would want to perform more, you know, upbeat, poppy type of music.
Honey, everyone's gonna be seeing you perform live pretty soon, and I'm excited.
I'm gonna need your boots.
Oh my gosh!
Vodka.
Ooh, I'll have one of those. Do it. Hi, Guido Contini. Stephanie from Vogue, remember me?
Yes, I remember very well. Stefanino from Vogue.
Cinema Italiano, this fan. Kate comes in, this Vogue journalist, very attractive American, really hip.
I've seen all your movies.
Really?
Blonde, fun, feisty, you know, all American girl.
1,000,000 times.
She's Kate, you know?
You have such style. I always think that. It's the other thing I love about your movies.
Style. That's all she sees. She sees, you know, the skinny ties and the little Vespas and the you know, and the shades and, you know, the cafe life of La Dolce Vita. That's what she sees.
Style's the new content. It's what my readers love. They want to dress like Claudia Jensen. They want to undress like Claudia Jensen. They want to ride on a Vespa down the Via Veneto. They want to live in an Italian movie.
When the musical was done on stage, it was done in 1982, and it was very much, you know, sort of timeless. It wasn't specifically 60s. But I thought we could bring a sense of that era to our movie, and so we went to work on this new number called Cinema Italiano. Moriestin, our composer, was so willing to come on board and rethink things and said, do what you need to do. And when you do that, you have the best chance at making a musical that works on film. So I came up with the title. I said, I like the idea of Cinema Italiano, and so did Maury. He thought, well, that's fantastic, because at the same time, we can instruct people who don't really know about Italian cinema a bit about the style of that time. John Meyer and Dion Beebe, our cinematographer, helped us create the look of this sort of ultra-mod chic number. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. We used the sort of the tiers of the set to create this fashion style number.
Kate came in, and who knew what a good voice she had and what a great dancer she was. She came in and just was like, whoa.
Even though I've danced my whole life in class, I've never had an opportunity to do something like this on film. Had, you know, hair and makeup and wigs and lashes and wind and, you know, lights. And it's an entirely different and terrifying experience. We had 6 weeks of rehearsal. It was like a training camp. You know, we sang and we danced every day, and we got to know our routines like the back of our hand.
Pick her up. Nice and slow. Drop your arms in your head. That's it.
And we're moving a lot, you know, we're jumping around, and that was challenging, especially for the guys on the sides. And controlled abandoned is sort of how we were describing it, like that go-go feeling of Joey Heatherton and Anne Margaret, even my mom with her dancing on Laugh-In and all her go-go stuff. It's like belly gut dancing. I think we did it. I think we got it. I don't think Rob would have let us if we didn't. We'd still be there.
Where's that for Kate?
Narrow. 5. That's Kate.
Yeah. I love that kind of dancing. I love the freedom of that. I love the abandon of it. I love the wildness of it.
Guys, ladies, let's try this. The last Contini Cinema, go crazy.
Okay.
Don't do this.
Okay.
Contini Cinema. Ba, 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 ba. So let's try that. Okay, ready? Here we go. And playback.
When you do your first tech rehearsal, it's like a new routine. You don't, it's a completely, when you get a spotlight on you and that, the concept of you can't see anything and you can't see where you're going and you can't see the sides of the stage and it just a wild experience. but incredible. It's the greatest feeling because it's so joyful. Dance is so joyful. And you have to work so hard. I mean, especially for Cinema Italiano, we would finish that and we would all just, you know, kind of collapse with our hands on our knees and like,
I'm so tired.
Talk about working hard. Whew. She really did, and I think it shows because she's really, really good in this number.
Red lights up.
Okay, here we go, guys. It's for you. Here we go.
Sound speed. 9-6, take 1. A&E camera marking. B marker. B marker.
And playback.
The black and white, I love the play of light, the way Contini puts his image through a prism. I feel my body chill, gives me a special thrill each time I see that Guido neo-realism. I love the dark and handsome guys with the skinny little ties, dressed in mud, looking out of sight. I love to watch them as they cruise with their pointy leather shoes, wearing shades in the middle of the night. Whatever Guido does, it makes me smile. He is the essence of Italian style, of the glamorous and Latin world that only Guido can portray. Contini Cinema Italiano. I love his cinema Italiano. He makes me feel with cinema Italiano. My life is real with cinema Italiano. He is the king of cinema Italiano.
That's sweetie pie? Got the wrong foot there? We'll do it again, baby. You know that's what you're here for. That's it.
It was exhilarating. There's a spirit in dancer. I'm gonna sound crazy. But it's a spirit in dancers that I never had the opportunity to be a part of until now. And it's the greatest feeling because it's so joyful. These dancers are absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, I think we all feed off of each other. And I remember one time we were doing the routine and I got it. I got the routine. I did the number and it felt so good and everybody felt it.
That was it, baby. That was it.
I've never had that feeling before. And there's nothing better. I'm sure it's like hitting a home run with the bases loaded, you know? I say that because I have all brothers.
Here, Fergie, you're gonna sing mine.
Oh, no. It's time for you to
Fergie
show the
can do
world
it.
what you got,
Fergie
young
can
lady.
sing for me.
It's your turn, honey.
And I'll do Be Italian.
Oh, I don't know if the world is ready for this one.
The black and white, I love the play of light, the way Contini puts his image through a prism. I feel my body chill, gives me a special thrill each time I see that Guido neo-realism. I love the dark and handsome guys with the skinny little ties, dressed in mod, looking out of sight. I love to watch them as they cruise with their pointy leather shoes, wearing shades in the middle of the night. Whatever Guido does, it makes me smile. He is the essence of Italian style. I love the glamorous Latin world that only Guido can portray. Continue cinema Italiano. I love his cinema Italiano. He makes me feel with cinema Italiano. My life is real with cinema Italiano. He is the king of cinema Italiano. Those scenes I love to see from Guido's POV. There's no one else with his unique director's vision. His angles wide and tight, each moment feels so right. Defines Italian style by only his decision. I love the speedy little cars, the hip coffee bars, the sleek women in Positano. Guido's the ultimate uomo romano. Continue cinema Italiano. I love his cinema Italiano. Guido, Guido, Guido. Guido, Guido, Guido. Guido, Guido, Guido. Guido, Guido.
Standing by. You ready, Mariana?
You want my love, take it all. You wanna watch it all, come on, take it all. Come on now, show me how you take it all. You want my love, are you enthralled? You wanna see it slip away and watch it fall. Oh, we know it's your show, so take it on. You want the movement to see what the hips can do. Come watch the slinky girl, see how the pasties twirl to make your bells all ring, fulfilling everything you ever wanted. So go ahead, take it on. You want my soul, take it all. It's time to leave if I'm to live, because I have no more, there's nothing left to give.
Let's do one more. One take.
In a very unusual way, one time I needed you. In a very unusual way, you were my friend. Maybe it lasted a day, maybe it lasted an hour, but somehow it will never end. In a very unusual way, I think I'm in love with you. In a very unusual way, I want to cry. Something inside me goes weak. Something inside me surrenders. And you're the reason why. You're the reason why. You don't know what you do to me. You don't have a clue. You can't tell what it's like to be me looking at you. It scares me so that I can hardly speak. In a very unusual way, I owe what I am to you. Though at times it appears I won't stay, I never go. Special to me in my life, since the first day that I met you. How could I ever forget you once you had touched my soul?